So something pretty interesting is going on for XRP right now, and if you haven't noticed yet, the price is going up because of it. Now first, I was going to talk about the fact that Trump mentioned Ripple today multiple times on Truth Social. A lot of people were very excited about this, logically so. And he basically, like I just stated, shared some things. Like, for example, Donald Trump effect bumps Ripple Labs US deals, XRP gains. An article from CoinDesk, he shared that, which again was pretty interesting. And it states, Ripple CEO says 75% of open roles are now US based due to the Trump effect, which basically meant that because Trump is now in office, they can start hiring again in the US. And remember, Ripple had some proper meetings with Trump, so most likely they would have gotten at least some sort of indication whether or not what they were doing was wrong. And from that perspective, I keep saying, most likely this is the time where a pretty massive expansion is at least due of sorts. And so I'm definitely going to be watching for that. But this news spread everywhere. But this is not even the news that I wanted to cover. All right, this is just something exciting that I saw when I woke up. Because the fact that Trump is reposting this, an article talking about how Ripple right now can expand more in the US, it just proves to me, it's like a confirmation of sorts basically, that XRP is in a really, really good spot, mostly from the regulatory clarity side. And maybe I'm being too overzealous here, but I personally think if they can get Trump to post about them in this sort of way, most likely also the SEC will back down rather soon. And most likely they're already very deep into the talks of the ETF from the perspective that they've actually got everything figured out. It's just a matter of waiting. I can't confirm that, right? But the moment that we saw, I believe it was the SEC acknowledging the XP ETF, Brad Garlinghouse was like, you see, we were waiting for this for a while. I kind of feel as if him stating that was like, if you read between the lines, it was him just stating this is coming. We've known about it for a while. It's just a matter of timing, basically. But now specifically the Trump announcement, I think just kind of confirms some of our broader theories. So just some insights. January 8th, Ripple met with President Trump. January 21st, Ripple met with Vice President Vance. February 14th, Ripple met with leaders from various industries and members of Congress. They made a bullish post about it saying, hey, you don't even want to know who we just met. And then today, President Trump shared a post about Ripple. So again, we're moving very much so in the right direction. But the real news actually was more along the lines of what I'll show you right now. So Ripple XDev just shared an article over on their X a bit earlier. So what is it all about? What are we looking at here? Brazza Bank is launching the Brazilian real stablecoin on the XRP ledger. Pegged to the Brazilian real, BBRL offers secure, efficient digital transactions for Brazil and South America, launching early 2025 for institutional clients. Now earlier, there was some pretty massive fear that the XRP ledger couldn't succeed as much now that the US and multiple other countries confirmed that they will not be launching CBDCs. There was some sort of ongoing narrative that this would be bad for coins like XRP and the XP ledger because they had a big plan of launching a lot of CBDCs on there, right? But I'm guessing that from the moment Ripple announced their RLUSD, said they're going to get a lot more tokenization on the XP ledger going, and right now the proof being in the public, pudding, that we indeed see ourselves new partnerships like here with the largest Brazilian FX bank. It just proves that the XPL doesn't necessarily need CBDCs. It is getting liquid stablecoins in every fiat on Earth. A very smart move if you ask me. But there's more. So as you can see here from Crypto Insights, he said, live footage of Brad Garlinghouse walking into the office tomorrow, knowing XRP ETF approved and a stablecoin launched in Brazil. What is that part about? Well, let's talk about it in a second. The SEC are rescinding appeals and pausing current enforcement cases in the crypto space, looking for resolutions. The SEC are likely to approve an XRP ETF soon. He literally met or his mates with Trump and Sachs. Bitcoin maxis are shitting themselves on CT. Well, with regards to these ETFs, is getting more and more apparent, like Scott here posted. Anyway, so with regards to what I just said about the SEC pausing these cases, new on the SEC pausing ongoing litigation against crypto firms, I'm told by multiple legal sources that the SEC has been prioritizing cases with imminent court deadlines, which is one explanation for why we haven't seen pause requests in the Ripple and Kraken cases. Ripple's next court deadline is April 16th, and it looked like Kraken's is in March at the end of it. The Binance case has been put on ice until April 14th, and Legilex until April 11th, and Coinbase plus SEC agreed on an extension on the deadline for the agency to respond. which also again is March 14th, so about a month away or so, it's possible SEC leadership is expecting Trump's pick for Chair Paul Atkins to be on his way to getting confirmed by that time. And in the meantime, they're basically just trying to quickly fill the gaps that made these lawsuits possible in the first place, really. And I guess it's just leading them away from really going after everything relentlessly like the previous SEC did. It's more a matter of, hey, let's try to not get more lawsuits out there, or at least why did they come? So basically what we've been looking for a long time now. But I'd say the real kicker comes in what you see from Cointelegraph right here. Hashtags receives approval for the world's first XRP spot ETF in Brazil. And I mean, it's like a little bit of I don't know how you call it, like a stacking effect of sorts, where really the last few hours have just been so amazing, and it just keeps adding more and more and more on top of it. It's sort of overwhelming of sorts. I don't know how to explain it better to y'all, but the fact that there's so much good stuff going on, it's making it, it's kind of odd, It's been so much of nothing. All of a sudden, all these massive announcements in a day, all these ETF acknowledgements, everything all of a sudden at once. And it makes me, I guess, remember what we've talked about for a few times on the channel, which is very often when it comes to these big price movements, when it comes to these big decisions, they happen like overnight. Even though there's years of building, before that, the end result for the most part, it looks like it happened all of a sudden. And so when I'm relating that to our coins right here as well, talking about the price, I keep thinking about this, right? Most likely, the way we're going to see it as well is nothing, price kind of converging, not doing too much, and all of a sudden, snap, it goes on a crazy rally again that has no end to it. But to put it into perspective, talking about the price right here, you can see we had a little bit of a burst, right? Just recently went to $2.83. And I'd say a lot of the market just took a very big downturn pretty quickly afterwards. Everything started to fall, but it actually fell below $2.50 yet again. But if we're taking a look at the overarching structure over the past, I'm going to call it 2 weeks or so, it's still actually quite green, right? We have yet to make any lower bottom of sorts. And I think it is actually quite accurate to state that we are basically right now retesting the previous tops that we were facing trouble with before. I will quickly say again, if you're still looking for a platform to trade on, I've already told you multiple times, but I mostly trade over on Blowfin, and right now there's a team competition going on where the reward is still small because the competition just started, but as it's going to take another few weeks, most likely this will get significantly bigger, at least 5 times as big, and as it currently stands, our volume is not doing too amazing. We're only winning $400 or so on that. But again, think about it times 5. But right now on the team P&L, our team indeed is actually still in the top 3 or so. Our team right now is winning about $3,000 US. I still hope this will at least 5x, but I'm actually hoping it'll be significantly more because, our team usually is quite amazing at this. So I'm expecting us to end up higher. But regardless, I don't want to take too much of your time. I just want to quickly share that if you've been holding XRP for a while, then the value proposition just got so much better, right? Because we're getting confirmation after confirmation after confirmation that what we are holding, I don't want to call it is destined, but I will say is in the best spot it's ever been at. Regulatory wise, price wise is doing amazing. People like to look at it and say, Dusty, the price is doing bad. It's at $1 or so lower than it was a while back. And I keep reflecting saying, but it was at 50 cents like a few months ago, right? Right now it's still trading at like 6x or so from where it was a few months ago. And don't think too much about where it was 2 weeks ago. Think more about where it's going to be hopefully in 2 weeks, 2 months or so from now, because it's all quite relative. You can always think back of, yeah, but it was higher before. But a lot of meme coins went down 90% in the meantime. And XRP still is basically at a 6x from where it was, or 5x, let's call it, from where it was a few weeks back. I don't think this little crash of sorts, this fall that we saw, was actually that bad. People like to put a little bit too much emphasis on it, I think. But regardless, let people do what they want to do, right? I'm just looking at my investment that way. It's not finished advice in any way, shape, or form. And I just keep having better days. Every single time I look at it, I'm thinking, yeah, this is exactly what I'm holding because it just confirms all I've been thinking for all this time. But yeah, again, like I said, I don't want to take too much of your time. Just wanted to quickly share some of my thoughts and some of the findings because it's a good day, man. It's a really, really good day. Big news. I could start screaming right here of excitement, but it's 6 a.m. Hong Kong time. So yeah, let's not do that. Why am I recording this? I'm a maniac. But yeah, that's about it. If you want more updates, make sure you put the notification bell on, and that's about it.